Here. Commissioner Spiz is absent with notice. Commissioner Long,
Here.
Commissioner Taylor,
Here.
Commissioner Markham.
Here.
You have four.
All right. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next order of business is approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. I'll take a motion. Moved by Commissioner Powell, supported by Commissioner Erickson Galt. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next up is approval of today's agenda. Please refresh and make sure you have the right order here.
Did something change, Glenn, or no?
They changed the order a little
Okay.
bit from
I
what was in the
refreshed, so it
file
should be
last
good.
night, so. Yeah, so all in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Oh,
Oh,
motion, right, yeah,
I'll
I need a
move it.
motion. Commissioner Long, Commissioner Taylor, sorry, moving right along. All right, now, all in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Next, we have our first public comment. If there's anybody from the public who wishes to address us at this time, please come to the end of the table.
Is that just for what's on the agenda?
I'm sorry,
Is
what?
that just for what's on the agenda or is it?
Yeah, the first one is what's on the agenda, that's correct.
just one.
Thank you.
I have one comment.
Commissioner Long.
I just wanna say, just looking around the table, it's all women. 23 years ago, it was not. I think I was the only lady on finance out of 11 back then. So it just, I mean, I just looked and I thought, wow, it's all ladies running this big billion-dollar budget here at the county. So it just changed. So I just was like, it's a good Women History Month. I wish it was next month. It was Women History Month. But it's February. Yeah, I wish it was our February meeting, our March, you know? March, yeah. So anyway, I just, that was an interesting observation. I just looked around and thought that today, so.
Nice observation. Thank you, Commissioner. All right, I will close public comment at this time. And we will move on to the Economic Development and Infrastructure Committee recommendations. Starting with item 7A, Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant Award with the United States Department of Energy. I need a motion. Moved by Commissioner Long, supported by Commissioner Taylor. Welcome, please
Thank you.
introduce yourselves.
Thank you, Chair Markham, hey, Commissioners. My name is Julie Lyons-Bricker. I am from the Office of Sustainability here at Oakland County. I'm the Chief Sustainability Officer. And I'd like to introduce my colleagues, or let them introduce themselves from Facilities Management.
Misty Race, Manager of Capital Planning and Design.
Good morning, hi, I'm Jill Diliberti, Energy Manager in Facilities Management.
Okay, great. So we're here, thrilled to be here to ask for the acceptance and the forward progress of this EECBG grant meant to extend and supplement our energy work on campus. So we're here for questions and look forward to answering them for you.
Okay, I'll open the floor to the commissioners. Does anybody have any questions for this group?
I can say one quick.
Commissioner Long?
This will be in this campus only, right? All this, not our new, none of these fundings will be for Pontiac campus.
That's right.
Okay. Thank you, that's it.
Anybody else? I mentioned this in EDI, but I think it's important to mention here too. We're looking at, as you said, the energy usage on this part of the campus. And we have a boiler, which is around 100 years old, that provides heat for a lot of this campus. And so going forward, they're looking at newer technologies to replace that and some of this funding will help with that study going forward, looking at geothermal and some of the other stuff. So it's moving in the right direction and it's funded by the federal government, so.
And this grant has zero match,
Oh,
zero
good.
local match, yeah.
So, okay. If Anybody else have any other questions or comments? If not, let's prompt the vote, please, on item 7A.
You have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Motion carries. Thank you, everybody.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you for the time.
Next, we have item 7B, the Meadows of Oxford Brownfield Plan located in the village of Oxford. Moved by Commissioner Smith Charles, supported by Commissioner Erickson Galt. Hello.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Kristen Wilting with the Planning Division. With me today is Brad Hansen. Before you today is a brownfield plan for the Meadows of Oxford, which is located in downtown Oxford on a vacant parcel. It's at 147 South Washington, and it's one of our housing types. This plan has been reviewed and approved by the Oakland County Brownfield Redevelopment Authority at their December meeting. And I'll turn it over to Brad for some additional details on the project.
Good morning, Commissioners. This parcel is 3.86 acres. The parcel is actually located in the DDA district, so there is actually a pass-through resolution that was passed by the DDA. So it becomes, this brownfield becomes a first claim, so the DDA forgoes its tax capture and the brownfield becomes the first claim, so the brownfield will be capturing the taxes for the life of the brownfield plan, and once it's complete, the DDA will continue to capture the taxes after that. The development itself is 32 units. 16 two-bedroom and 16 three-bedroom units for a total of $9.4 million in overall investment. 7 units are at 120% AMI or below, which makes it the affordable housing for workforce, attainable housing, which makes it the brownfield component of the new law that was established 2 years ago. The payback to the developer, and that the affordability timeframe is for 15 years for the development for those 7 units. The payback to the developer is for 14 to 15 years. The last 5 years of the brownfield payback is for our local site revolving loan fund, which helps us collect funds to further establish our brownfield program. The developer reimbursement is $2.25 million over those 14 to 15 years. So I'll be able to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
I will open the floor to the commissioners. Anybody have any questions? How many of these projects have we had since the new TIF policy?
I believe this is number,
Oh, it's 8, I was thinking 3.
Okay, good.
I think contaminated property still all the time on brownfields. I gotta get it out of my mind.
Right, but these are the housing TIF. We call it brownfield, but it's the housing TIF.
I think out of the last 10 brownfield projects I've brought to you, one has been a traditional cleanup, what you think of brownfield.
Right.
One has been the transformational brownfield in Pontiac, and the other 8 have been housing
Okay.
TIFs.
Yeah, it's just so different from all these years I've served, you know,
It's-
I gotta get
it's-
used to this.
Yeah, it's a game changer
Right.
for the
Definitely.
brownfield program and for affordable and attainable housing.
Are other counties taking advantage of this like we are?
From talking to colleagues from around the state, yes.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Seeing none, let's prompt the vote.
You're a yes? Okay. You have 6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have item 9. I'm lost.
Land bank, right?
Oh,
Land
8,
bank, yeah.
sorry about
Land
that.
bank, whatever that one is.
Item 8A, 2025 Oakland County Land Bank Authority Annual Report. I need a motion. Commissioner Powell, supported by Commissioner Long. All right. Introduce yourself and the floor is yours.
All right, good morning, I'm Jill
Morning.
Robinson. I am the Director of the Oakland County Land Bank Authority, which is housed in the Oakland County Treasurer's Office. And we have a PowerPoint today just to talk about what's been happening over the past year with our organization. We're required to submit this annual report each year to the commission, so that's kind of why I'm here. I think last year I came to this board and to another board, so I might be another board or another committee at some point. Oakland County Land Bank Authority was established in 2022. And our mantra has been collaboration, whether that's with people, communities, organizations, county departments, anybody that wants to collaborate, come to us and we'll figure out a way to do that. This is our fabulous board of directors, 5 folks that were appointed. Everybody here aims to make the organization better and is very helpful with affordable housing, community development, legislation, anything that will help the land bank move forward in its goals. It's an evolving organization, it's young, we're finding new ways to participate in programs and to get people together to talk about projects in our communities. Last year, we accepted almost 100 properties into the land bank inventory from the state land bank. So the state land bank had held a number of properties. When we were established, we agreed to take what they had and put them in our inventory so we could assemble things together and find projects that had, properties that were adjacent to each other. That just makes it easier for us to control what's in our county. Majority are in the city of Pontiac. We do have some in Waterford, a couple in Southfield, a couple in Brandon. Most of those are landlocked parcels, which means you have no access. Maybe it's somebody's backyard, maybe it's a vacated alley, maybe it's in the water. There are some parcels that are in the water. So we're working to get those taken off of the tax rolls. I think everybody here is familiar with this building. This is Casa del Rey in Pontiac. This is a historically designated property, 51 units of missing middle housing. They are in the middle of renovation. It's really cool to watch. It's new windows are in. I just got a video this morning. They're 65% done. They're looking at second quarter of this year to be finished and start renting them out. Obviously, there's been a few setbacks, as with all historic structures. They found out there were some holes in the concrete in the basement that they didn't know about. So there's a little setback there, but they're moving along. I'm sure if anybody wanted a tour of that, they'd be open to doing that. But we're super excited to see this come to fruition and get people moved in there and bring the building back alive.
I have a question about this one because I read maybe a month ago that the project was stopped because of funding questions, and then this showed up in our packet and I thought, well, good, I hope it's moving along.
It is moving along. MSHDA stepped forward with additional funding. The Housing Trust Fund also stepped forward with some additional funding that had been part of the tax capture for a Commerce Township project from the state land bank. So the state land bank gave the Housing Trust Fund some money prior to us having our own county land bank, and they put that towards this project. So they're still moving along, it wasn't stopped, there was some possibility of that. And I think when you have old buildings like this, you don't know what's gonna happen. I think we've seen it on Webster School. And I think if you looked at any construction of historic buildings, the same thing happens every time. Nothing is linear. In these projects, you think you're doing everything right, you think you have the cost estimate correct, and then you find a hole in the floor, right? Or your system, something happens, or building code changes and you need to do something else. So still going, still working. We have meetings every 3 weeks and talk about how we're going and what we're doing and still moving along.
Good.
Yep. And this is talking about the blight elimination funding through the State Land Bank Authority. This is ARPA funds. And this is a competitive grant program that we submitted applications for a number of different projects. So I'll go through those right now. This is a couple of houses, again, historic houses in the Geomodern housing neighborhood. The county treasurer had foreclosed on a number of these houses. These were the last 2 that were standing. There's actually one that needed to be demolished because it was in such poor condition. With this one, we were able to stabilize the houses with funding, and then we were able to sell them to a developer to continue the renovation. I'm really happy to say that they have both sold, so we have 2 new homeowners in those houses. And it's really interesting just to see kind of in the neighborhood what happens when you have a house that looked like one of those and the upper part now look like this and have people living in it. You have folks taking care of their porches. The city of Pontiac is starting to get ready to do a new funding round for some facade improvements of housing, owner-occupied housing. So you'll start to see little changes that contribute to neighborhood overhaul, that make people more passionate about their neighborhoods, that keep people out in the front yards, all the good stuff that we wanna see.
Yeah,
Commissioner Smith-Charles.
just about that facade funding, you said the city?
The city.
That's very nice. I would love to see more cities help with facade.
So the city has taken over their CDBG and home funds. The county used to do those for the city. They have taken those back. So they now have a department that will do those programs, write their own kind of RFPs for folks to submit everything. So the city has taken back that authority and are doing their own programs with that funding. So yeah, we're happy to see that too. This is the, previously the McCarroll School. I think probably when I first started at the county, which was a lot of years ago now, and I see Andy's here in our audience. I came over here 14 years ago, I think, and we were talking about schools then. And what do we do with these schools in these communities that are very difficult to renovate? They're very expensive, as we know. And they are creating a problem in these neighborhoods. They're empty. They're boarded up, people get in them all the time, it's dangerous. And we've been talking to legislators over the years, and finally this funding came along and we were able to address a few of the schools in the city of Pontiac that have caused problems. This particular one, the city had purchased it for their recreation center. We were able to collaborate with the city of Pontiac and demolish this, and I'm happy to say that they started working on this project. It will be the new, they call it the Youth Recreation Center. All sorts of great things that the community deserves. A track, they're not looking at a pool, but there could be a pool in the future. Yeah, some parkland.
Say pool.
Yeah, very great.
Yeah, cool.
And then this is another school, this is Emerson School, this is a privately owned school that again was causing problems in the neighborhood. We were able to get funding to demolish this school, and the plan for this is a small home village for senior residents. They plan to have some community space, a community center. This is going to be done by Micah 6 Communities, which is the group that's renovating Webster School too. So they have a great track record, they care about the community, they do great work. So we're really happy to see what they're gonna do here, and they're already fundraising for that. This is kind of switching gears a little bit. Over the past 18 months or so, a group of folks have been organizing around housing. It's called the Pontiac Housing Work Group. Facilitated by the Pontiac Funders Collaborative, which is through the Community Foundation of Southeast Michigan. So it's a group of organizations in the city of Pontiac that are trying to figure out how to get together, figure out how to get more housing, affordable, attainable, whatever we're gonna call it. How do we get housing that people can afford to purchase? How do we do that? So the Pontiac Funders Collaborative funded the land bank to hire a part-time GIS, a mapping person, to help create this map so we know where properties are that the city owns, the county owns, and that are privately owned. And then we're attaching amenities to that. So where are our trails, where are schools, our churches, our grocery stores? So that map will be available to developers. We'll be able to talk to them, knowing full well who owns what properties, knowing which properties the city owns and the county owns that are adjacent to each other, so we can assemble those into larger projects. Super excited about that. The person we hired is amazing. He's a young man from Michigan State, passionate about these maps. He's gonna present the IT user group next month. So we'll probably bring that around and show it off when we're completely finished with that. But that kind of goes into, when we talk to developers, we didn't have kind of the knowledge to say these 7 properties are owned by both the county and the city. So we were guessing all the time. The city has kind of a physical map of parcel IDs, so we were never seeing it on a map. So this is kind of a game changer for development there. And then as we move along through Pontiac, we're hoping to take this into the county as a whole. And this is just talking about how one of our missions is to support emerging developers, knowing that access to some of the funding is difficult. We work a lot with organizations that can help people with questions and have access to funding through MSHDA. What does that look like? They're kind of, I don't wanna say hand-holding, but they will walk them through the process so they know and have an opportunity along with the people that always get the funding. We have a few projects right now where we have land banked property. We're also working with Habitat Oakland with a neighbor, Roland Elam, to facilitate, he has a vision. He wants to create a place where kids can go and learn and gather and have a safe place to talk to each other. But he also wants to build housing for people in the neighborhood, and we have some vacant lots, so how do we make that happen? So we've connected them with a good developer through Habitat, and that project is ongoing in the process of talking and developing plans. And this, I'm sure some people know about this, is the Oakland Schools Technical Campus. We've been providing vacant lots for their construction technology program. We've been doing that for a lot of years. We have vacant land, they're building houses, natural thing to happen. In the last couple of years, the Oakland County Housing Trust Fund has been able to contribute funds for that too. So it's just a cool program. Students are connecting the ability to build these houses into careers for their future, and to hear these kids talk about the experience. It's really a neat experience. If anybody ever wants to go, let me know. They do this annually now, but it's a huge presentation. Folks come out and the kids talk about it. It's usually pretty cold though. This is talking about our funding stream. So the way land banks are funded, well, right now we're funded through the county treasurer's office. We do collect 50% of the taxes over 5 years for every property that we sell. Not a ton of money. Generally, we're selling vacant land. It takes a couple years to start development, so eventually we'll collect that 50% on a house. Still not a ton of money. So we're working with the Michigan Land Bank Association on some draft state legislation that would connect some funding to the tax foreclosure process. So we're working with them. There's also some legislation through Senator Slotkin's office through HUD. So those kind of stay tuned. Legislation obviously doesn't happen quickly, so we're at the beginning stages of getting that hopefully introduced early this year. And that obviously would go towards, we talk a lot with the Housing Trust Fund and the amount of projects they have on a list that need gap funding. Or MSHDA just had their latest round for their My Neighborhood program. They had 125 projects submitted in Oakland County that had a gap in funding. And I think we had $1.4 million total to give through that program. So there are solid programs and solid projects out there that just need a little bit more funding. So if we have the ability to work with legislation to create a stream of funding, I think that would be very helpful for all of us. Collaborative partnerships. I think through this work, and especially over the last few years, collaboration is what gets things done. None of us are doing it alone. I think housing is an important thing for our county and for our people. Affordable housing clearly is a problem. We have a number of partners that we work with consistently, our affordable housing partners, the Brownfield Authority that was just here, the Housing Trust Fund, the State Land Bank Authority. So I just got something from Community Housing Network. There's a potential grant where there's 5 folks that are collaborating to do a housing project. So I think when we think about working in a vacuum, it doesn't work. So that is kind of our mantra. Who can we work with to get things done, and how do we get them done as quick as possible? And I think this is just a little timeline of what we've done. The one thing on here that we talked about, we were just awarded another blight elimination program grant for $415,000, and we're going to use that for another school demolition. It's the old Weaver School, which is up northern Pontiac. It's a school we've owned since 2014. We've had 15 potential projects. They've all fallen apart. It's difficult to make it work. So we're gonna be doing that. We're working with the Architectural Salvage Warehouse of Detroit to remove doors and trim and anything that's of value. So, you know, the attached memories to that school hopefully will go on and have a life somewhere else. And then we will start the abatement work and the demolition. The timeline is pretty quick. That should be done by the end of the summer. And then I think what we'll do is probably work with that neighborhood, figure out what they want, and then do an RFP for that property. These schools are 4 acres typically, 3 to 4 acres. That's a big piece of property in a community that doesn't have property like that. So there's a lot of folks interested in developing that. What that looks like will depend on a lot of different variables, funding, what the neighborhood wants. Hopefully we'll get some community green space in there too. So I think that is it. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Okay, I'll open it up to the floor. Commissioner Powell.
So Weaver School, is that the one where, that one's off what?
It's
Is
on
that what-
204 West New York, yeah. It was the Mount
Oh,
Moriah.
West New York. Okay, so what, so the last deal didn't go through, it was supposed to be housing and stuff, so it didn't go through?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, I just wanted to say publicly, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Jill is real good at helping these developers. And also I think our housing trust fund or just whoever our team is, I just wanna thank everybody. With these projects, it consists of a lot of work in the capital stacking space, trying to find money. And Jill Robinson is our girl, so
Thank you.
I just wanna publicly let everybody know, get with Jill. She know how to try to navigate the team and get projects executed. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And happy to see my boy in Mike. So thank you, Chair.
See you. Commissioner Smith Charles.
Thank you. I was trying to be cute and think you can't spell OCLBA without JILL.
Oh my God.
The GIS mapping, you said it's for developers only?
No, not necessarily. It's gonna be on our website. It's gonna be for everybody. It's interesting because IT has some real strict rules about who has access to what. So internally, we're gonna know who owns it, where roads and infrastructure is. Externally, you'll be able to see where the city owns property and the county owns property. So that, I think, was the most important thing for developers, but yes, it will be available externally too.
Okay, great. And then the name of the company you mentioned, architectural, the people that repurpose trim and doors and stuff?
Yep, Architectural Salvage Warehouse of Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good mom, good contact.
That's all I have,
What you thinking?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner
One
Powell.
more thing, just wanted you to touch base and update, kept on his title, that's not his title anymore.
Correct. So this,
Just to remind you.
we did talk about
eventually,
that. So
yeah.
this is looking back a year, so that
Oh,
changed,
got
so
it.
that
So it changed
moving
this year.
forward,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
January 1, it will be a different title.
Got it, okay.
But thankfully, he's still on our board, so he's a he's a good voice in support of the city of Pontiac.
Yeah, I haven't heard of us changing it.
Yeah.
So he should be fine. As long as he wants to stay.
He does.
Okay, well, I'll take it, I support that.
Anybody else? I just wanna say that, what a success story. We started talking about the land bank really seriously around 2020-ish. And to think that in 5 years, we stood it up, we've built new houses, it's really a cool thing. And I'm very proud of the work that you've done.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What'd you say? Oh. Okay, if nobody else has any other comments, let's take a vote to receive and file.
Using the wrong pen.
You have 5 yeas and 0 nays.
All right, thank you. Thanks for coming in,
Of course,
giving
thank
us
you.
some update. It's really exciting stuff. I love hearing the good stuff we're doing with our money. Okay, next up, we have item 9, public health and safety recommendations. Item A is grant acceptance from the Michigan Department of Corrections for the fiscal year 2026 Community Corrections Program. Moved by Commissioner Smith Charles, supported by Commissioner Erickson Dahl.
Good morning. Hi, good morning. I'm Eric Schmidt. I'm the manager with Pretrial and Justice Services. This is our annual grant application and acceptance that we do for almost 30 plus years. And so this year for 2026, we applied with the MDOC. The application award did not come to its full amount that we needed, so we had to make some budget modifications, but it is still supporting our 18 positions within our organization and supporting all of our programs and services. So it's pretty much what I'm here to do today.
Okay, anybody have any questions, comments? No? Okay, if we don't see any, then let's prompt the vote.
Summary.
Commissioner Taylor?
I'm sorry, yes.
Yes, okay. You have 6 yeas, 0 nays.
Okay, thank you, motion carries. Thanks for coming in today. I just wanna say to all you folks who come and sit through all these meetings and then you get a minute and a half, we do appreciate everything that you do, we do.
It was a good write-up, so we didn't have questions.
Yeah, that's right.
That's okay.
Thank you. All right, next item is item 9B, the contract with Vital Core for medical services at the Oakland County Jail. Moved by Commissioner Powell, supported by Commissioner Long. Good morning.
Good morning.
Floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having the time to hear us today. My name is Aaron Wagner. I'm the Chief Procurement Officer. In November of 2024, the county was notified that its current healthcare provider for the inmate services, WellPath, had entered into Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Corporation Counsel, Sheriff's Office, Management and Budget, as well as the Health Department came together to try and find a solution and the best path forward for the county. Through these discussions, we determined it was best for us to go out to bid for these services for the next 5 years. And what we are presenting to you today is the result of this solicitation. A couple points I want to cover on this is that the evaluation committee was made up of those members that I had spoken of before, Corporation Counsel, the Sheriff's Office, Management and Budget, as well as the Health Department. It was a very collaborative effort between all of these different departments and separate elected offices. We went out to bid on June 25th. Bids were on the street for 64 days. We received 4 proposals from Vital Core Health Strategies, WellPath, Wexford Health, and YesCare. We went through and vetted and made sure that these companies were viable. And the evaluation process, we deselected and ended up with 2 top candidates, and then had further discussions with outside agencies that had done recent transitions from another service provider onto the suppliers that we were contemplating. Through this process, we found that Vital Core Health Strategies was the most responsible and is in the county's best interest for us to move forward with this recommendation.
Okay. Commissioner Long had a question, and then Commissioner Powell.
One last thing, the representatives from Vital Core are in the audience as well.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being
Yeah,
here.
Questions for them directly.
So
Commissioner Long, followed by Commissioner
that might be
Powell.
for them. So thank you. So I am wondering, Vital Core, what other jails do you provide service to? And it might be in my other document, but I didn't open up all of it, so. what other facilities do you provide services to?
Sure. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Frank Fletcher. I'm the President of Marketing for Vital Core Health Strategies. So Vital Core currently serves 93,000 incarcerated individuals in about 160 locations in 18 states across the country. We're based out of Topeka, Kansas. But we currently serve 10 other county jails in Michigan. And Jamie, you may need to help me there if you're interested in me naming those 10.
No, that's good.
Okay, there's 10 other county contracts in Michigan, and we also have a statewide contract with the Michigan Department of Corrections.
Okay, so it sounds like you have a large presence in the healthcare for jails, so that's good.
And Commissioner,
And-
we spoke to Kent County and Genesee County too, so as Erin said, we did our due diligence and we spoke to other
And got positive reviews and,
Yes.
okay, I just wanna make sure being a nurse, you know, and I want us to provide the best service possible. So that was my question, it sounds like that you're out in a lot of states and in a lot of facilities, so thank you, that was my question.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Powell.
Sheriff McMullen. McCullen. Oh, I didn't tell her name all up, sorry. I know that you're the point person in jails, correct?
Correct.
So with this transition, are you in support of the move of this contract? And just wanted to hear from you, from this need and any information you want to share with us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Throughout our entire evaluation and scoring of the systems, all of the 4 individual contracts and RFPs, we clearly appreciated what Vital Core presented to us, and not only the presentations of what their company provided, but the comprehensive nature of not only the program, but the responses and evaluation that we received doing diligent research with the agencies that had currently Vital Core as their contractors. And what they were able to provide us with the additional staffing, very receptive to questions, knowing that this partnership is a true partnership in every sense of the word. We work hand in hand with our healthcare, and that was very important for us. They are much more collaborative and involved in the full nature of providing inmate healthcare, and that was important for us. And incidentally, some of the innovative measures and ways that we wanted to actually stretch what we're already doing great and to be better, they were more responsive to that. We just don't want to provide healthcare. We want to always look for what's best for our inmate services, and they were able to provide the points that we were looking for.
Okay, thank you, and let me correct it, it's Captain.
Yes.
Okay, I need to correct that, so sorry about the mishap with your name. I'm done, thank you, I just wanted to hear from her.
Thank you. I'll come back to you, Commissioner Long.
Yeah, I really
Commissioner Smith Charles.
I believe you said the WellPath company filed bankruptcy,
That's correct.
and then I see that they bid on the job.
Yeah.
That is also correct. They have successfully completed and come through bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And so they're you know, that was something that was taken into consideration. You know, we've been working with Corporation Counsel very closely, as well as outside counsel from a bankruptcy perspective, just to get an understanding. So the first issue or concern was, you know, are we gonna be able to continue services? You know, how can we make sure that we are protecting those that we are responsible for housing currently? And so throughout this process, again, it really it is pretty amazing just to see how MMB, Corporation Counsel, the Sheriff's Office, and the Health Department came together to really push forward and present to you the best solution that we've got.
Yeah, so commissioners, you know, I'm not saddened to see WellPath, you know, move along. I'm kind of over the whole, just them as a whole. And I'm very excited about Vital Core providing good services. Thank you, Captain, for your boots on the ground perspective, and I value that deeply. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, Commissioner Long, followed by Commissioner Woodward.
Commissioner Charles asked my question mostly, and I just wondered how long did we have WellPath? That was my other question. She asked my first one with the bidding.
I believe it's been since 2012.
Okay.
13 years, yes.
Okay.
It's been-
Oh, good. Time for a change, so that's good. Thank you.
I mean, we went to bid each time, but you know, last time.
No, I just, I remember them quite a long time, so that's good, so.
Yeah,
welcome.
last time they were the
Hopefully
only
if it
viable.
passes, welcome.
They were the only viable bid, and so this time it was really nice to have 4 viable bids.
Definitely.
And if I may just publicly thank this whole team, I mean, the collaboration was really great. This is, as you know, this is the largest part of the sheriff's office budget. So we take it very seriously, and you know, we did our due diligence and then had the hiccup with the bankruptcy. So, you know, Captain McClellan's team at the jail and my administrative team and then Aaron's team and Brian were instrumental in this, and so I'm really happy that we're here before you today.
Thank you.
Collaboration is the
Yeah.
word today, I
Yes.
Yeah.
Commissioner Woodward.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I recall the last time they were the only bid, and so to see, I mean, to see 4,
Nice.
that's great. I just think for other commissioners, and I wanna also appreciate the entire team. There was a conversation, many of us remember settling a lawsuit issue that had a WellPath intersection. And there were some of us that said, well, we want WellPath to pay for that, and we'll deal with that another day. And then the next day, they were going bankrupt. And then there was a question whether we'd ever get our money. And now they're gone, so we're probably not gonna get our money, but I think that in terms of some of the concerns and through that entire process, the sheriff's office responded quickly, working to develop contingency plans and what happens if WellPath can't show up the next day. And I just wanna express my appreciation to, coming full in, trying to figure out how to deal with this and the speed in which this is the speed to have the RFP developed and how fast this has gone through the process and get 4 bids, viable bids to come in and evaluate them to come to a decision. Collaboration, but also determination, and that's, I just wanna acknowledge that this didn't just, this didn't happen to the normal cycle. There were all these external events and everyone that was involved was nimble, so I thank you and very happy to support this.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Erickson Gall.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe you mentioned this and I missed it, but I recall from the Public Health and Safety meeting yesterday that this is gonna actually allow us to have medical personnel present during intake. Can you speak to?
During what? I missed it.
During intake.
Okay.
So what we did, we actually did a comprehensive review of all of the processes and then tried to select some best practices. So in this, there is obviously a budget increase going forward with this contract, but we've also increased nursing staff. And one of the key positions that we're adding is at the intake process. So when
that's
people are
good.
booked into the jail, typically, right now a deputy takes that information and now there will be a nurse at that station, so that's.
And if I may real quick, so Captain McCollum and I can both attest, having worked that area, when we're very, very cautious, or we try to be on who we accept, because once we accept, the liability is all on us. So to have that nurse there to help triage the people that we, cause we got sometimes deputies making these determinations that, don't necessarily have the background. So to have the nurse to do that, that's a huge component to that they offer for us.
That'll help not only improving the outcome for the inmates, but also that will help with the risk management.
The deputies are medically trained only to a certain standard to take those viable questions, those important questions in reference to medical. So we're meeting those best practice and standards to that concept. But to raise it to the degree where we're having a registered nurse take on those responsibility and raise their knowledge of the medical components of those questions, it's much more than what our deputies are trained to do. They are corrections officers with a limited training to meet those standards for taking the questions. But moving that needle forward to another degree is what's best for the sheriff's office and our inmate population.
Okay. Anybody else with any other comments or questions? Seeing none, let's prompt the vote.
It's good, I'm glad I did. I feel like it's karma day. I didn't know it was a day after.
Don't get our $400,000 back.
I know.
If I go back to seeing the speakers and I don't get the little voting square.
You have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
All right, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
your time.
Appreciate that. Thank you for coming. The face is behind you.
It's good.
Yeah.
All right, next, item 10, the department recommendations. First one is 10A, exception to the purchasing policy, extensions beyond 5-year term with Global Solutions Corp, Buyers Engineering, and Emphasis. I need a motion. Oh, Commissioner Powell, supported by Commissioner Erickson Galt. Good morning again.
Good morning again, how are you?
Good.
We tried to consolidate this, so it's a little bit easier to go through this time, than the last, several bids. So before, again, Aaron Wagner, I'm the Chief Procurement Officer for Oakland County.
Kimberly Arango, Director of Application and Client Services and IT.
Before you are 3 contracts that we're requesting an exception to go beyond 5 years of the purchasing policy per section 2004 or 2400.6. The 3 contracts are Global Solutions Group. Would you like me to just kind of go through all 3 or just do a deep dive into each one?
A quick overview of each and why you need the extension.
Okay.
Did it not refresh? Do you have an A, B, C, D, E
Yep.
on that section, or am I missing one?
Yep.
So Global Solutions Group is the auditors for our PCI compliance. Because we have systems at the county that takes electronic payment, one of the things that we have to do is we have to make sure that we are staying compliant with the payment card industry PCI. And we need an auditor that goes through and helps to ensure that as part of the process. They are current. We have just changed our merchant services provider and vendor, and so keeping the same vendor in place as we go through that is critical to make sure that we are sticking to all of the things that we have to as part of the attestation of our processes.
Okay.
All right, the next contract is Buyers Engineering. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So Monty Logan is on vacation today, so I'm here to represent him on this item. We did a competitive bid for the services of digital asset management software. After that bid was awarded, the new vendor identified that the digital asset management functionality that needs to be managed under that contract is not something that they are able to meet the full scope of. And so as a result, we are asking to continue just specifically for this service, our existing vendor, which is Buyers Engineering, while we go through the rebid process, so that we have continuity of service in this space.
And then the last is for the Treasurer's Office. This is a maintenance agreement of 5 years for the Simpro cash management system. And so there is a license agreement with this supplier. We've had them for the last 10 years, and this would extend that maintenance agreement out another 5 years.
And just to add to that, Paul Zelenak, I'm the investment administrator with the Office of Treasury, and yes, so this emphasis is the vendor, Simpro is the software. They are pretty much the government standard for investment management. All big governments use Simpro, Wayne County, Detroit, Grand Rapids. So their product is strong and continues to be strong. And as Aaron said, we've used them for the past 10 years and would like to continue to use them. The reporting that comes out of Simpro you see on a quarterly basis on the investment report that's issued to the committee. Audit reports, LGIP statements monthly go out. So it's a strong product and very familiar with it. And just to say, it's pretty much the only product out there that can do what that Oakland County needs.
Okay. Anybody else have, Commissioner Woodward?
Just quick, I'll start with symmetry. What were we talking about? I thought we were talking about something else. Oh, it doesn't. Been with them for 10 years. Did we put them out to bid 5 years ago? And they were the only one that came back?
It was out for bid, Commissioner. I wasn't around. I don't know. I know it was out for bid in 5 years.
Yeah, no, I mean, if the expectation is that we're gonna be with the same vendor and we're happy with the service, that's fine. And it is, the determination of like, there's really only one game in town. In fact, I mean, we were talking about WellPath at one point. It was like, WellPath was like the only game in town. And to see competitors come into the marketplace that lends itself to some maybe cost efficiency, we should always be looking for. Like, I'm comfortable supporting this. I'm just curious, like this and the others, like, did we put these out to bid in the past or?
And if I can add, we did look at, there's another company out there. We did look at other products. And the biggest thing with Simpro too is the integration with Workday. And so it's just huge. And the other products had trouble with that integration. So it, again, another reason. Clearwater Analytics was the other company that we looked at.
Okay, we said we looked, just like when we looked at it, like just.
We had them come in for a presentation. And then through networking, we know another community went with Clearwater and then switched back to Simpro just because of that, for that reason, so,
Commissioner Woodward, so when we get to, probably about 3.5 years into this agreement, we will look to go back out to the market just to see if anything's changed and
always,
we'll go from there.
We're always networking, looking at other products, yep.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Okay. If there's no other comments, let's prompt the vote on item 10A.
There's 3, 2, no,
I have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
All right, motion carries. Item 10B, I'm assuming it's you again.
guys get a lot of me today.
Exception to purchasing policy.
I'm sorry for that.
No, that's fine. Single source procurements.
Happy New Year, right?
Single source procurements with Leads Online, Randox Laboratories US Limited, and Symmetry.
Yes.
Got it.
Moved by Commissioner Smith Charles, supported by Commissioner Powell.
Yep, again, per the procurement policy, section 2003.11, when we do have a no bid purchase, I'm presenting those bids to the board for receive and file. Leads Online was requested by the prosecutor's office. This is to help with taking location data and using it in investigations, and as well as being able to present it into the courthouse. They own the market on this, so they did provide a letter stating that they were a sole source for that particular technology. The medical examiner's office had a issue in ordering bags, and so they needed to purchase more cadaver bags. And so in this instance, it was more of a timing issue than it was anything else, that their inventory had dwindled before we went out to bid for it, so they needed to do a quick purchase from these. And so that's where this sole source request came in. And the last is a subscription for the WRC for Symmetry, which is a software licensing for the engineering projects. And so again, this one, they provided a sole source letter that they are the only supplier that provides this particular software, and it's something that they've been using for some time, so the continuity is important for the projects that they have ongoing.
Okay. Any questions? Commissioner Woodward.
So the Cellhawk thing, and I'm not the most techie, but I'm dangerous with a computer. I find it hard that they're the only one that can take aggregate data of public records of law enforcement information and then put it into a map. So when they say that they're the only one, like the vendor says we're the only one who does this? Or
Typically, when it is a sole source, I ask for documentation either by, you know, the reseller that's providing it or the company itself.
Okay. I just, that just doesn't make, that doesn't make sense to me. So maybe there's something, I mean, I'm sure that they have a patent on something, but so do other 100 tech firms on similar things. So how long is this contract for?
3 years.
Okay, and does it have the same language that can be terminated?
Yeah, it is 30-day.
With 30-day notice? Okay. All right. I might Google something. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Commissioner Smith Charles.
Good point.
Did I hear you say something about cadaver bags?
Yes.
And how does that relate to the tech?
That wasn't for tech, that was just an exception to the procurement, so it's a report of everything that was accepted. So in this instance, they had done a sole source for this particular cadaver bag without going out to bid for it because there was an immediate need, and that's the bag that they've been using. So for consistency, we just approved the purchase of it.
Okay, and you may not know, but my question at the heart of it really is, are they one-time use?
Yes, yes, they are.
Okay, thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Unfortunately, I do know that answer.
Obviously, you're not a nurse and never had to wrap up a body. Once you-
This is true.
Once you do it, you don't wanna do it again.
Yeah, okay, so it's not.
You wanna be the person that has to hose it out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, do we have any other questions?
Sad.
Seeing none, let's prompt vote on item 10B.
Just teasing you, Yolanda.
As you can tell, we don't like sole sourcing and we don't
Yeah.
like exceptions, so.
Yes, that's a lot.
Try to bring as few as possible, so.
Okay,
It's a lot.
You have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
okay, motion carries, thank you.
Yeah.
Next is item 10C, the sponsorship of the Trinity Missionary Baptist Church and Dare to Dream Pontiac 2026 Black History Celebration Gala. Sponsored moved by Commissioner Powell, supported by Commissioner Smith Charles.
So, I can talk, okay.
You can talk.
So Trinity Missionary Baptist Church is one of many, but one of my more community-facing supporting churches. And I would love to support, as long as I get my colleagues' endorsement and support. They're having an upcoming Black History event. It's in February. And the proceeds from the gala does help with a scholarship endowment fund that they have. Creating educational opportunities in support of students in Pontiac and surrounding communities to pursue of higher education. And it also is focused to help within the community and in just empowering our next generation of leaders. They do a lot. So I do have Miss Sheila Wallace here. She's on Zoom. She's a representative of coordinating this event, and I don't know if you all have any questions, but we are opting to support them.
2,500.
At 2,500, which is a Unity sponsorship. And I'll turn it over to Ms. Wallace if you would like to elaborate a little bit more.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Sheila Wallace. I'm coming to you from Trinity Missionary Baptist Church, where our pastor is Dr. John D. Tolbert. And we're having a upcoming gala. It's going to be held on February the 20th at the Marriott Auburn Hills, Pontiac. And we would like to invite all of you out to be a part of it. This is on behalf of our church and in partnership with Dare the Dream Pontiac. We our initiative is, as she said, the proceeds from this gala will directly benefit our Trinity Church Student Scholarship Endowment Fund. It's going to be a very exciting evening. We will have a dinner and entertainment, and we have some award presentations that we'll be giving out. So we invite everyone to come out to attend, and we hope that you will become a sponsor because whatever we do, what we do is include all our young people, and we want to see that they have the advantage of being able to move forward in their careers with our help. So we invite everyone out and hope that they become a sponsor of this event.
Ms. Wallace, how long has Trinity, if you can remember, how long Trinity been a church in Pontiac?
Oh, I cannot tell you how long it's been there, but
I know it was one of our first three, right?
right.
Yeah, so.
It's been there quite a long time. I've been a member there for the last 7 years, but they've been around for a long time. I can tell you that.
Thank you. So I'll turn it over to the chair.
Okay. So this is one of our typical sponsorships that each of the commissioners can raise up from their community, and this one is a very modest sum of $2,500. So is there any other comment or question for Ms. Powell or Ms. Wallace? Seeing none, let's prompt the vote.
And Chair Markin, just as commissioners are voting, I'll remind them that following full board approval, this will go through the purchasing and invoicing process. And then also, as Ms. Wallace had indicated, these will go for the proceeds of the event. So it's not to put on the event, it'll go towards that programming goals that the church has.
Okay, thank you.
Exactly.
You have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
So Ms. Wallace?
You'll go on the consent.
Ms. Wallace?
Yes.
Just to let you know, so it has passed committee, but it has to pass our board meeting next week. And then Mr. Keys will follow up with you, or I'll follow up with you to, to follow up with the county so that you can find out next steps to receive the funds, okay?
I appreciate that very much.
No
And
problem.
thank you for having me today to go over this information with you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Motion day.
You too.
All right, the motion carried, so
Send me with ma'am.
moving on to item 10D, the Courts and Law Enforcement Management Information System Authority, transfer agreement. Moved by Commissioner Long, supported by Commissioner Woodward. Okay. Our Columbus folks are here, correct?
Columbus. And Corporation Council. And CEOs, this is a big one.
Thank you.
This is a big one, we get all the important people. Thank you. Okay, oh, just the timeline, okay.
I just didn't know we had to move.
Okay, are we ready?
I am ready. I don't know.
Yeah, Bo, why don't you come to the end of the table too?
I'm sorry, not sit over there now.
Yeah, questions for you, Bo. Okay. All right. Welcome.
All right. Need a motion for us to talk?
Yeah, we do need a motion.
We got it.
We got it.
Yeah, we did, we did.
I learned my lesson at the last.
Yeah. Now see, Penny doesn't do it.
I only messed it up once today.
I know.
She doesn't have to talk about it. Penny's in
Okay,
here
the floor
for it.
is yours.
All right, thank you. Brian Loeffler, CFO.
Today had her time.
Jody Hall from Corporation Council.
All right, so I think if you recall is that last year, the interlocal agreement was adopted, but also there's other folks here. I know,
Keller.
Mr. Keller's here, Chief Keller's
Chief
here.
Keller's here, White Lake.
Sheriff's Office is represented, but back in October, the interlocal agreement was received the seal of the state, so the authority was created last year. Appointments have been made, and this is kind of like step 2 related to the creation of the Columbus Authority is this transfer agreement. As you know, there's certain assets that are on essentially the county's books now and that are gonna have to be transferred over to the authority. And what this transfer agreement, which was drafted by outside counsel and then quite honestly worked very collaboratively with Jody Hall, Corporation Counsel, which is in your packet. But prior to doing that, I will also let Bo go through the handout that he has, which is just a 3-page handout.
So this is basically just an update on the timeline on the formation, on the fact boarding. As Brian mentioned, back in 18th of September, the Board of Commissioners approved the formation of the authority with the adoption of the interlocal agreement. Obviously, prior to that, we also received resolutions from Bluefield Township and White Lake Township. So as part of that process, we have something called a transfer agreement, which Brian will go through to basically transfer the assets of Columbus from the county into this new authority. Because this is a new governmental agency, there's a lot of things we have to do to actually start up the entity itself. One of which is filing the information with the Great Seal. So we received that October 31st, which basically makes the authority effective. And we also had our first executive committee meeting on November 10th, basically adopting all the things to actually stand up the authority, such as get an EIN number, get a bank account, and et cetera, and also with the December 10th meeting to adopt a budget before the authority can receive any dollars. So as relates to the interlocal agreement's already been signed, the county has already transferred $250,000, I believe on December 19th, to the authority as basically startup dollars to kind of help for the authority, so things such as legal as well as insurance in the process. So with this agreement, basically the deadline now is to move this to a February 1st transfer date, which is part of the original interlocal agreement. And so in essence, as part of the agreement, the county would have to transfer all the assets from Columbus over. Obviously, if there's no transfer by that date, then the authority automatically dissolves and kind of the whole process starts over. So kind of give you a timeline of events. The authority does have its next executive committee meeting on the 22nd, which actually coincides with the Board of Commissioners meeting. And so once that gets approved, then both parties between the authority and the county, once that approval happens, then obviously transfers of the assets will happen on the first. So that's really the next major milestone before the authority is really off on its own and running this process. Any questions on that? So next page is just, again, so this information, there's really nothing new here. Just kind of a summary of information that's been shared with the committee and the board before. So this is just really an allocation of how the expenses or the capital investment will be spent. Obviously, a majority of the expenses around improvements of technology. From last year it was 17 years old, now it's 18 years old in the process. So there's a lot of things we have to do to improve the technology. Obviously, we talked about the cloud migration away from the county IT servers into the cloud environment. So if you look at the bulk of the expenses related to this, it is all technology related in the process. There's also transition items, one of which is there are about 250 members within the Columbus Oakland County consortium today, and we have to basically transition all of those members over to the new authority. So there is a process in which we have to do that. And so that'll be part of the transition costs of just setting this up. So again, this is not new information, we just kind of share information in terms of the plans on spending the capital investment. Okay. And then last but not least, this is again just mapping out kind of the budget that Columbus historically has had with the county. And obviously, if Columbus still stays within the county, what that budget will look like projected future amount too as well. So just to summarize where we've been in terms of the timeline process, the plan for the authority to spend the dollars invested for modernization and improvements of technology, and obviously what the historical finances of Columbus have looked like in the past projection for it. Any questions?
Okay, I'll open it up to the committee. Commissioner Long?
So I appreciate this money allocation, because that was my question for the 25 million. And then, so we already allocated 10 million previously when we passed it. And then, so now in this contract, it's the 2 times 7.5 and 7.5. What years are those again? They're gonna get 7.5 and
Fiscal year 2027 and 2028.
okay, so there'll be 7.5 million going in 27 and then and then that's that 25 million obligation.
Total, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then this is what it's allocated on this graph. He showed what the funding's for.
Right, correct.
So my one question is, what assets are we transferring?
So one of the assets is like, there can be computers.
Okay.
And things like those physical
Okay.
assets or like those
And they're going over to the authority?
Yes.
So it's physical assets like because anything we use for Columbus in the county will go transferred to them?
Yes, so I think it's an exhibit called a tangible asset.
Okay.
So then you also have other assets related to contracts that either the county has that we're gonna have to continue to support Clemis is because these contracts are still in the name of the county.
Okay.
So that's, I call it the software type of stuff.
Yeah, also like software code files into the service mark, so this is the actual Clemis logo. and
Okay,
design.
all that will be transferred to you, okay, and then, so I just wanna say I did my homework, Chief Keller is obviously here and in supportive of it, representing White Lake, Chief, and then I called, Chief O'Neill from Waterford this morning, he is supportive, and I called Chief Sovac from Wolverine Lake, and he is supportive, so I've got my, and I know the, Sheriff's Department's supportive, so I got my district covered, they're all supportive of it, I am gonna vote yes on this, so, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm done.
Commissioner Smith Charles.
Yes, you talk about hardware. I'm imagining all of the software on that hardware goes along with it and all that good stuff. And my real only question is this it? Will I have to see Clemis on an agenda ever again moving forward? Like, is this the final cog in the wheel to make this Clemis thing no longer be slightly a bane of my existence? So, is that fair to say?
That's fair to say, and I actually made I also made a comment, there's a section here, 8.1, is that the county is now, and say the sheriff's office or the prosecutor's office is actually gonna be essentially a user of the authority system.
Okay.
Okay, so one of the things that we baked into this is that you're gonna have to have an agreement to be their users. Well, it's in here. I'm not intending to bring it back, cause everything related to like a user or the MSA is already in here, so I thought about that, Commissioner, so.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I do have to say, there's gonna be still a lot of work that's gonna have to be done, especially on the accounting side and things like that, but from this perspective here, I have to say, I'm done coming to this on this, so thank you, I appreciate you asking the question.
Is that it, Commissioner? Commissioner Woodward.
A question and then something that Commissioner Smith Charles said to further comment on. But on this legacy, this 2022 to 2030 forecast, is this the operating deficit of the existing, if we basically weren't doing the authority, we continue the way we were, that this is the projected, so it's the deficit on the funds that they have in total, and the more alarming is the red. That will eat away all the gray, if there's even any gray left over after the 2030 projection. Okay, good.
Yes, I look at it, Chair, as I took the 48 minus the 23, which is 25 million between the two. This is where, but to some extent, this is where the county's obligation to this stops. And then, the authority is gonna have to address how they continue to modernize.
We don't do anything, right?
Expand their services and things like that. But this is essentially making sure that they're set up for success. And that's what that means, that's what that investment is.
And then makes my commentary is that I've had a chance to talk with Bo and I'm honored to serve, the executive's appointee on the executive committee, so I've spent a lot of time with us. To Commissioner Smith Charles, I have a question, like this is a big price tag liability. Oakland County deserves a lot of credit for putting decades of time and investment in building up what is one of the largest and most effective crime fighting tools, data that can be used to help agencies and courts be able to effectively do their job, advance public safety, et cetera. There is a recognition, and at the more than a year ago, a couple years ago, this $25 million was something that was definitely talked that we've got to do something, and explored all options, an off the shelf transition to something else. I think that the path that we're on is a modernization, taking what's working really well and make certain that we can make the technical advancements so that it's a better user-friendly tool for the men and women that are on the front lines using this. It's gonna come, with a sizable investment. My pledge, and I've said this to my local law enforcement agencies that are supportive of this as well, is that Oakland County has an obligation to not only continue to stand this up and help support this, but this is really the next development, I think, to ensure that Clemis stays a thing that is as valuable as it's recognized to be today. The thing that I wanna underscore is while, I mean, we're standing up here with the $10 million, the $15 million to, not just symbolically, it's like we will fulfill obligations to ensure that we can implement this plan that has been developed in partnership with all the people who work with Clemis and our local agencies. But we also are gonna be very diligent and committed to look at all other resources available to do this. And so seeking federal dollars, seeking state dollars. This truly is a regional asset. And one thing that has been talked about, a lot of the, I would say the burden to stand this up, Oakland County built this. And so we just, we maintain and own the obligation to keep standing it up. This is a regional asset and we need our state and federal partners to help step up to make sure that this is not only, again, not the maintain the great tool that we have today, but to be even greater going forward and how technology is used and everything. And so, I like some of the language that's in here that says that we're gonna look for that. And so like this obligation, this is an upper bound limit and a commitment that we can say, hey, we're prepared to do this. I'm one generally not to say never, but I have complete confidence that not only the executive committee, but all the member Clemis agencies working together, understanding these are what these things cost. And again, these are not small numbers, these are very expensive numbers. But as Mr. Leffler, you mentioned that we're gonna transition from being the owner of Clemis to being a member of Clemis. And our obligation, so whatever we pay annually into the Clemis system is gonna be proportional to what any other agency pays into it in order to help support this. And so I know it's a lot of work, these are very big numbers. Hopefully you're not gonna see numbers like this any further, but I think it's important for, if you get questions, I got a couple calls over the last week. Like is Oakland County committed to Clemis success? The short answer is yes, 100%. We're committing even additional dollars on paper beyond the $10 million. With the caveat that we are also, like that obligations, might be reduced if we can get the state and federal dollars and other sources of money to help reduce that.
Good, it's a good
Actually, a very big context conversation.
That's in the transfer agreement.
That's in the transfer agreement.
I'd just like to put a point on this that Clemis is not used just by Oakland County. There are communities all over the state of Michigan
and beyond
that use Clemis. And by moving it into an authority, they're managing all of that. And we no longer are servicing and subsidizing, communities in northern Michigan or Ohio or whatever, these, red lines.
Right.
That's what that boils down to, is we're losing money on this. But it's a great thing. And all of the chiefs and everybody will tell you that they want it to succeed going forward. So I just wanted understood, I think the word regional is good because it is a great thing. And other parts of the country, could benefit from something like we have. I'm sure there are things like this across the country, but this one's pretty, it's better than others, right? So I just wanted understood that this really puts us in a position to hand it off to an authority that will manage it, just like the zoo or just like, what are our other authorities? The DIA, the different ones. This is a similar kind of thing.
I would just add that while there might be other entities that are trying to collect and share data like this, I don't believe there is a single another organization that has as much data, in part because of our age and the number of member communities that are part of it. I think this is the cream of the crop, and this modernization is going to make this tool something even more useful than it is today.
Agreed. I see two hands over here. Commissioner Powell, followed by Commissioner Erickson Gall.
Are you for Clemis, are y'all taking any employees from the county to help run Clemis?
Yeah, it'll be part of the process. So we're gonna basically, the plan of authority is to post job openings. And obviously anybody within the county can apply for those job openings in the process.
But the current employees that we have today that are working on Columbus are still committed to here
Correct.
until the authority can post their jobs if that's what they want, so. And then any county employee who's inside of IT and they don't apply for Columbus, they stay within IT, because there is still a need for these IT folks inside our regular world. So the intent is to just absorb them back in, and I know that that's something Kim and Heidi is working on, so that with Rod Davenport, so.
Okay, I was just wondering to make sure we got a game plan, cause shouldn't nobody be losing their jobs, cause we switching stuff, so. Wanted to know. Okay, thank you.
You asked Mr. Miller's question.
No, okay.
So I know we talked about this when we dealt with the resolution back in September. And I recall seeing, I think, a list of all of the CBTs and other communities and entities. Is there somewhere where we can access that to refresh our memories on who else involved?
Absolutely, so the current Oakland County Columbus webpage has basically a list of members that are listed in this process. It just kind of gives you high levels. You have roughly 250 some members, a little over 140 law enforcement, over 60 fire departments, a lot of different state partners, and et cetera, et cetera. So we're across 10 counties today, soon to be expanding into probably 11 or 12 counties soon.
Thank you. I'll Google it.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Seeing none, let's prompt the vote.
You have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Wasn't as long.
Excellent, motion
Did my homework
carries.
before.
Thanks very much for coming in and,
Thank you.
Can I say one more thing?
yes, Commissioner Woodward.
Before I announce it, I just wanted to verify. There is a website for Columbus, columbusauthority.org. It's a thing. It's a real thing.
Yay.
It's called what?
columbusauthority.org, very original.
All right.
Kinda should be .gov.
All right, we have come to
There's a reason,
our
and Bob's
second-
working, Mo's working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be that.
Excellent.
All right, Chief. Thank you, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
See you in a meeting soon.
All right, we are now at our second public comment where anyone can talk on any subject that they would like for 3 minutes. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, yeah, it is afternoon now. I've been here this whole morning listening to everything. And again, my name's Margaret Gupta, I'm with Oakland County. I have struggled for over 4 years with legal fraud. Starting with the arbitrator altering emails to invalidate, altering documents. But most specifically, it's about the Zoom hearing platform. And I know Zoom is great for, hey, we have meetings over there. My specific isn't against Zoom. It just cannot do the job is supposed to do, is preserve court records. And I was listening, Aaron Wigner has a purchasing policy. They have to do extensive reviews, they have subscriptions, they have software license, you have to do the renewals. Nobody in the judicial branch will touch my case. The evidence is that clear. They know it's gonna have significant consequences. My whole point with Oakland County is to say, you guys didn't know. Failure to take action, what is this? You want the most effective crime-fighting tools, help the courts do their jobs. That was from Mr. Woodward, right? We have a county obligation, we have to maintain, we have to own, we have to support, we've got great tools. I'm telling you this right now. Judge Lisa Langton's court staff altered 5 Zoom hearing records to cover up their own corruption, to protect the arbitrator, to protect herself. Why won't they investigate? Because investigations lead to bigger things. Create documents, make records, involve more people. It's truly abhorrent when you don't have the attention of all the commissioners. I've been wronged. I'm a citizen. You guys are not protecting me, and I bet you 10 to 1, if I go social media, public, whatever, there's more people out there. court records and changing them changes the transcript, changes the rhetoric, it changes you can sit there and use it to demean somebody's personality or discredit them. Removing information and evidence from court records is supposed to be a county clerk job. She will not even, I said, hey, let's sit down and I'll bring the audio recordings, we'll correct it. We'll make them specific and without error now. Why? Because the courts won't do it. You guys have a partnership with the courts. You give them the buildings, you give them you approve things from scale. Why aren't you guys not asking, how does Zoom work? Why aren't we checking to see if Ms. Gupta is actually telling us the truth? You guys are obligated. I need to be protected, but I'm not. I'm by myself. But I have the truth. I know that. And I'm smart. I'm smarter than a lot of people think. But I want to give Oakland County the opportunity not to go through a lawsuit. Not to have to be embarrassed by saying, oh, we didn't know. No, you guys know. And I've sent many letters. Maybe you guys hasn't trickled down here from Mr. Andrews, but I sent that back on November 11th. I made sure that you guys could have it before the November 13th meeting. And it's been silence, radio silence, crickets. You guys give them benefits, health, the job, the maintenance, everything. And you guys don't care if you do nothing. It's not right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Gupta. Okay, there are no communications. Do we have any other business? Seeing none, I will call this meeting adjourned.
Oh, okay. What was this?